At least 50 complaints have been filed against Eugene Police after officers responded to a protest outside the federal building last week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brandon Kamerman. Kendall Bartley is off tonight. A second protest was held yesterday. We're not aware of any complaints regarding that protest. But the complaints that were submitted to Oregon's Sanctuary Promise Hotline, that's a state program that tracks potential violations of the state's sanctuary policies. Now, according to state law, Oregon police and public agencies cannot assist in federal immigration enforcement without a court order signed by a judge. Community members claim EPD worked too closely with federal immigration agents as protesters were attempting to speak out against detainments at Eugene's ICE field office.
They were asked by federal agency to monitor this situation, and they did. I did not see EPD officers handcuff anybody and help load them into vans, but what I did see them do is respond to a call to facilitate the transportation of people who are deported.
Now, EPD says officers responded only after federal agents reported safety issues and property damages. Witnesses say multiple Eugene Police vehicles arrived as tensions rose after demonstrators attempted to block an ICE transport vehicle. EPD says it did not engage with protesters and remains compliant with Oregon's sanctuary laws. So the complaints are now under review by the Oregon Department of Justice. While EPD is not legally required to respond to DOJ questions about those alleged violations, people who believe their rights were violated under Oregon's sanctuary law do have the right to pursue civil legal action in court. Now, Oregon's the only government-run hotline in the country designed to uphold sanctuary laws and support immigrant communities. KVAL's Tiffany Lewis spoke with the State Justice Department to learn more about how this hotline works.
I think the most common misconception is that sanctuary status means that federal immigration authorities cannot operate in Oregon. And that is a myth.
State law makes it clear Oregon police and public agencies cannot assist in federal immigration enforcement without a court order signed by a judge. But confusion is a pervasive issue.
Commonly, what we are explaining to folks on the hotline is that no ICE or DHS or USCIS or whomever the agency is can conduct their business. And again, that business being detaining, transporting, deporting individuals here in Oregon.
The Sanctuary Promise Hotline is more than just a number. It's a resource created in 2022 to serve as a reporting, support, and referral system, connecting community members with legal resources and documenting complaints against agencies for alleged violations of sanctuary policies. The Sanctuary Promise Act, passed in 2021, strengthened Oregon's existing sanctuary laws and created the hotline. The hotline takes in everything from legal questions to urgent requests for help after a loved one is detained and awaiting deportation.
The legislature outlined specific duties for the Sanctuary Promise Hotline, and that was to provide a trauma-informed, culturally responsive space for community members to report suspected violations of Oregon sanctuary laws.
Callers are also provided with next step options, including relocation or financial assistance, and information about possible recourse after filing a complaint. All complaints are documented and the data is shared publicly so Oregonians can see where concerns are rising. And any legal enforcement for possible violations must be dealt with through civil lawsuits, not prosecution by the Justice Department.
Oregon Department of Justice does not have that authority. The legislature did not intend for Oregon DOJ to have that authority. They intended for community members to have that power to seek that recourse through a private right of action and have a judge make that determination.
Under the Sanctuary Promise Act, public agencies are not required to respond to DOJ inquiries about complaints, and there's no legal obligation to participate in investigations. Oregon's DOJ says the majority of reports are not reports of alleged violations. Most people are just seeking resources and clarification on the state's sanctuary law.
Our hotline is a first-in-the-nation program where community members can report and be connected with resources, learn about the law and the limitations of the law, and get connected with support and next step options.
In Eugene, I'm Tiffany Lewis reporting.
The Sanctuary Promise Hotline is available in over 240 languages. It is staffed by advocates trained in trauma-informed care. You can report online or call 1-844-924-STAY. For Spanish speakers, that direct line is 1-844-626-AMPARO.